I think this one.
Prince!
Ballerina cappuccina. Mi 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 è la moglie di Cappuccino Assassino e ama la musica la 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 la.
Dear my beloved audiences, today I want to tell you a story, which is called Bruno and the Lost Island. Bruno was no ordinary dog. He was a chocolate Labrador with a sense of adventure bigger than the ocean. He belonged to Captain Eli, an old sailor who spent most of his days exploring remote islands and forgotten shores on his wooden sailboat, the Seagull. Bruno had been on the water since he was a pup, and while most dogs chase sticks in the park, Bruno chased sea breezes and salty waves. One morning, as the sun rose over the horizon, casting golden light across the harbor, Captain Eli unfolded an old, weathered map. He ran his finger along a jagged line drawn in faded ink. "Bruno, my boy," he said with a grin, "we're going somewhere no one's been in 100 years, Skull Island. Legend says there's treasure buried there. But beware, they say the island doesn't want to be found." Bruno wagged his tail, his amber eyes wide with excitement. The next day, they set sail. The journey was long. They battled strong winds, dodged floating debris, and even outran a storm. Bruno stood firm at the bow, ears flapping in the wind, keeping watch for dolphins or danger. Captain Eli relied on Bruno more than any crewmate he'd ever had. Bruno could sniff a storm before it hit and sense land before it was visible. On the fourth day, a thick fog swallowed the sea. The compass spun in circles, and the map grew damp from a mist. "She's testing us," Eli muttered. "Skull Island doesn't want company." Suddenly, through the fog, a dark shape appeared. Cliffs jutted out of the water like jagged teeth. Bruno barked, his nose pointing forward. "We found it," Eli whispered. They dropped anchor and rowed ashore in a small dinghy. The beach was silent except for the crashing waves and the cry of distant gulls. Palm trees swayed in the wind, but there was something strange in the air, a stillness like the island was holding its breath. Bruno sniffed the sand, his nose twitching. He led the way into the jungle, past vines and moss-covered stones. Captain Eli followed, holding the map and muttering to himself. After an hour of hiking, they reached a clearing. In the center stood a stone statue of a dog, its features worn but eerily similar to Bruno's. Suddenly, the ground beneath them shook. A trapdoor opened. Before Eli could react, Bruno fell into the darkness below. "Bruno!" Eli shouted, dropping to his knees. He couldn't see the bottom. Bruno landed with a thud on a pile of leaves. He whined, but quickly got to his feet. It was dark, but he could hear water dripping and feel the cold stone beneath his paws. He was in some kind of underground tunnel. He barked, hoping Eli could hear him. Then he did what any brave dog would do. He started walking forward. The tunnel twisted and turned, lit only by faint shafts of light through cracks in the rock. Strange carvings lined the walls, animals, symbols, and one that looked exactly like Bruno's red collar. He paused, sniffed the wall, and pressed his nose against the stone. Click! A hidden door creaked open, revealing a hidden chamber. In the center was a pedestal with a golden bone-shaped key. Bruno padded forward, gently picked it up in his mouth, and turned. Behind him, a massive stone door groaned open. Beyond it lay a cavern filled with gold, silver, and gems piled high. But Bruno wasn't interested in treasure. He just wanted to find Eli. At that moment, he heard a voice echo through the tunnel. "Bruno." Eli had found a rope and lowered himself into the passageway. He followed Bruno's barking until they met again in the cavern. Eli knelt down and hugged his faithful dog tightly. "You really are a legend," he said, laughing in disbelief. Eli looked around at the treasure. "This is what people have searched for all their lives. And we found it, because of you." But as they prepared to leave, the ground shook again. "The island, Elisotef. It's collapsing." Bruno barked, then sprinted toward the tunnel. They ran together, dodging falling rocks and ducking under collapsing walls. At one point, a beam fell and blocked the path. Bruno squeezed through a narrow hole, then turned and barked frantically. Eli threw him the golden key. Bruno caught it and jammed it into a stone panel nearby. Click! The wall shifted, opening a new passage. They emerged just as the sun was setting, breathless and covered in dirt. Behind them, the jungle roared as trees toppled and the clearing caved in. Whatever magic protected the treasure had decided it was time to hide again. Back on the Seagull, Captain Eli gave Bruno a bowl of water and some dried fish. "Well, boy," he said, raising a mug of tea, "you found the island, survived the tunnels, and saved my old bones from being crushed. You deserve a medal." Bruno wagged his tail, laid his head on Eli's knee, and closed his eyes. They sailed home under the stars, the secret of Skull Island safe with them. Bruno never wore a collar again. Instead, Eli tied a strip of gold ribbon around his neck, a reminder of their greatest adventure. And though the villagers never truly believed the tales of talking statues, hidden treasure, and collapsing islands, they all agreed on one thing. Bruno was no ordinary dog. He was an adventurer, a legend, a hero. If you like this video, please leave a like and a subscribe. It will really help our channel grow. But if you don't like it, then just skip it and don't forget to check out our other videos. Thank you very much and goodbye.